Hello, boys and girls. My name is Michael Fouché. Welcome to the first episode of Goatscrew Incorporated. I'm making this recording on June 5th of 2021. That means for most of the world, we're now 15 months into COVID crazy. Since I had COVID in January of 2020, that means I am now 18 months into COVID crazy. Over the last year and a half, I've gotten used to raising hell on Twitter, Facebook, other social media. I've been very active in resistance efforts for the government stupidity that we've had to endure, especially in the state of Virginia with King Ralph. We're now 15 months into a government of one in Virginia, because apparently in 400 years of Virginia history, with state legislatures changing every 2 to 4 years depending on the scenario, it never occurred to anyone that we would have a emergency worse than a snowstorm or a hurricane. And therefore, the Virginia legislatures, in 400 years of infinite wisdom, put in no methodology whatsoever for review of the governor's emergency declaration and emergency powers. We didn't get 30 days in, 60 days in, 90 days in, and have to have a vote of confidence, a review of the environmental situation, interviews and even questioning by elected officials of scientists and doctors and things of that nature. Nope. Until King Ralph gives up his power, he's King Ralph. Most of us have been just devastatingly impacted, and I say most of us when I'm talking to us, most of the people that are going to be interested in hearing what I have to say. If you are left of center, I don't know whether you've been impacted or not. A lot of the left of center I know were government employees, teachers, professors, even doctors and things of that nature, and never missed a paycheck. A lot of the people that I know on the right of center are self-employed, work in trades jobs, work with their hands, have their own brick and mortar businesses and things of that nature, and have been nearly devastated in the last 18 months. That was one of the reasons that a lot of us were so aggravated by that whole PSA thing that they started doing about we're all in this together. No, we were not all in this together. We might all have been in the same ocean, but you can bet your ass we weren't in the same boats. I actually know individuals who made about 50% more money in 2020 as a direct result of government stimulus checks and things of that nature than they normally would. Those people, it is obvious, are quite happy that we continue to stay in a lockdown condition. They don't have any interest whatsoever in getting rid of mask mandates, and they're just fine and dandy if we just sit at the house, watch Netflix, and everybody telecommutes to work. Some of us don't have that as an option. A lot of us don't have that as an option. And we have been pushing back, and hopefully we're going to continue pushing back. This is the weekend that 77 years ago, a bunch of 18 to 25-year-old young men jumped out of amphibious boats, crawled across, 100 feet to 200 feet of open beach under withering fire, and then climbed 30-meter mountains or 30-meter cliffs with nothing but ropes and really, none of the technology that we have today to go up and resist and fight and kill Nazis. In 2021, we're now in a position where half of the 18 to 25-year-old males out there are still wearing masks, even though the CDC says we don't need to anymore if you're vaccinated, and can't figure out what damn bathroom to use. I don't mean to be flippant about it, but it clearly shows that we're not in the same place or on the same planet that we used to be. This country has always been a bastion of freedom. I understand our history. I understand the failures of America. And as a veteran of the United States Army, I'll be happy to tell you America sucks until you compare it to any other damn place on the planet. You will notice that there is not one person who has gotten on an airplane and flown to Venezuela in the last year because America sucked so bad they had to go to Venezuela. There is not one leftist who has gotten on an airplane and flown to Syria because it was better there. Yes, America sucks until you compare it to any other place on the planet. As I said, I've been spending a lot of time on Facebook and Twitter. Spent a lot of time in Facebook jail, spent a lot of time in Twitter jail. Don't really care, doesn't really mean anything. At a certain level, it was just an effort for me to maintain my sanity during a very insane window of existence. Hopefully we have at least learned one thing out of this entire event. We will never let it happen again.